The equation y equals 36 plus 18x models the relationship between the height y in inches of a typical golden delicious apple and the number of years x after it was planted. If the equation is graphed in the xy plane, what is indicated by the y-intercept of the graph? Oh, me. If you're like me, these word problems just make you feel tired all over. Because it's kind of my eyes glaze over. I think a lot of people have that problem with word problems. Even if the math involved is fairly straightforward, the words can kind of make things fuzzy, we'll say. All right, well, let's look at our original equation. Y equals 36 plus 18x. This is very close to being the slope-intercept form of a line. We just need to flip those two around, so I'm going to do that. Y equals 18x plus 36. Now, in slope-intercept form, this number by itself is the y-intercept. Now, they asked, what is indicated by the y-intercept of the graph? So this funky question, if the equation is graphed in the xy plane, what is indicated by the y-intercept of the graph? That is a fancy way of first testing that you know that this is slope-intercept form and that this is the y-intercept. But the question actually means is, what does 36 mean in this equation? All that just means, what does 36 represent? This is why people don't like word problems. So let's look at this and figure out what the 36 means. Now they're telling us, we go back and reread it, it's modeling the relationship between the height in inches. Okay, so y is the height of these trees. We've got these trees that have apples. It looks like a face. That was not intentional. Okay, so we have a tree that has apples, and y is the height. And x is the number of years after it was planted. It's telling us how tall these trees grow. So we take 18, assuming inches, we multiply by the number of years, it's growing 18 inches a year, and then we add 36, and that tells us what the height is. So you go, well, what would 36 be? Before I look at the answers in this case, just let's think about this logically. What would happen if I put a 0 in for years? What would I get? If I put 0 in there, it'd be 18 times 0 plus 36. 18 times 0 would be 0 plus 36 would just be 36. So at 0 years, no growth has happened. I get 36 for my height y in inches. So when the tree is 0 years after being planted, it's 36 inches. Okay, with that fact in mind, let's look at their options. The age in years of a typical apple tree when it is planted. No, there's nothing that tells us this would be 36 years old. B, the height in inches of a typical apple tree when it is planted. Ooh, I think we have our answer. Because, as we said, when it's been 0 years, no time has passed since it's been planted, our formula says it is 36 inches tall. So no time since it's been planted means it just got planted. So the height in inches when it is planted, be 36. And so that looks like our answer, but let's just read our other ones just to make sure they're not being tricky. The number of years it takes a typical apple tree to grow? No. The number of inches a typical apple tree grows each year? No, that would be the 18 actually. So yes, B, the height in inches of a typical apple tree when it is planted is our answer. This one honestly is less about math and more about logic, but they are just testing that you know this number that's out by itself is the y-intercept in a line. If this was helpful or useful in any way, please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.